shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle. Hi there, my name is Tercy Engelhardt, and I'd like to welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast, Living in Grace by Choice. So every week for, 277 or something like that weeks, I've been saying something around welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful you're here. I love that I get to share a bit of my journey with you, and you let me into your journey and share some of your life and your process with me. It's precious that we get to hold hands this way and walk together. I believe all of us are learning how to love more fully, be more of who we were created to be, heal from perhaps perceptions of our past or pains and losses and victories and joys, and live more present in the moment, letting more love in so we can let more love out. And I'm grateful to be able to do that work with you. So it isn't that I have your answers. I do now have 39 years of recovery from 20 years of living an addictive lifestyle, healing from abuse, and then living with an eating disorder. And in those years, and I still learn and I still grow every single day. And while I don't live the addiction and that day-to-day challenge, I do still learn from life, its lessons, the moment to moment impact that I experience in other people in my life, and the people who cross my path, the things I read, the things people say. It's a great journey, and I'm grateful for that process. So, you can take a look at tercyengelhardt.com if you're interested in doing an individual session with me. It's really an opportunity for me to reflect back to you what I see. And what I can promise is that I always see you in a better view than you see yourself, because face it, I think we're all a little bit hard on ourselves. So this particular episode is about what do we leave people with? And I mentioned in the description how I got here, but I'll just share with you a couple of those incidences that happened this week. So you know how things pop up on Facebook, and I don't actually spend a lot of time on social media, but when I go to post something, things pop up, and something popped up about a cousin of mine. So it's actually my first cousin's children. And it looked to me like perhaps my cousin had passed away. So I reached out to one of my first cousins and said, what happened? And anyway, she shared with me that two brothers had actually passed away, one June 6th and one July 7th, so 1 month from each other. And while I was reading the stories, I saw a post by one of their daughters. She happened to be at the Naval Academy, and she was sharing who her father was for her. And it was quite moving and beautiful. And she had lots of pictures from the time she was just a wee little baby until fairly current times. And she talked about the impact he had on her life and what he meant to her and all the memories that she had. And I started thinking of my own memories of him and the times that our lives had crossed, our paths had crossed. So that got me thinking about the impact that we have on one another. And then I listened to some friends talk about their mom in recovery. And I again thought about, wow, how what we do, what we say, what we don't do, how it impacts the lives of those that we care about, that we love, that are close to us. And then I had a beautiful phone call with a woman who had read my book and had a very similar story to mine. And again, I thought about the people in her life and the impact that my book had on her life, and then she had shared it with people, and how we got to talk, and um, we got to meet in that way. And she shared the impact that had on her. And then I have these letters that are coming in uh, through this process I'm in from old friends. And as I shared with you last week about the longevity of friendship, and I've been thinking about the impact that those people had on my life. And one of the couples who wrote said that process had them really get present to how much love there was, and how much we'd been through. And and then our daughter in Kerrville was talking about how the help is withdrawing from the area where the flash flood was. And while they had recently found another person who was deceased, it'd been a while. And then what happens is the news begins to move on, the help begins to exit the area, and then people are just left with putting lives back together again. And today at the farmer's market, a man came up, and he actually was from the Dallas area, and he's a contractor. And I mentioned our daughter feeding people in Kerrville, and he said, yeah, he goes in after the help has gone, and he helps with the reconstruction. So again, that was shortly before I sat down to start to do this. And I started to think again about, wow, the impact we have. And then in the catechism I'm studying, it was talking about how we die a bit every day, that every day is a preparation for death, that every night that we go to sleep. And so what I wanted to share with you is I don't think I know I don't think uh, on a daily basis about everything that I might be saying, everything that I might be doing, what I don't do, when I do show up, when I don't show up, the impact that has on other people. Oh, that was the other experience. Somebody on the farm talking about the impact that a coworker has. And so what I want us to do this week is to actually get present to how much you matter. And what if we lived like that? If we lived like we matter, if we lived like everything that we say, everything that we do leaves an impact. It's like a ripple in a pond, and it touches other people in ways we may never know. And yet that impact is impactful. And so my question is, what are you? What am I leaving people with? And is it what we're committed to leave them with? Is it how we're committed to impacting their life? Do we even recognize or acknowledge the impact that we have? And can we shift and make that impact meaningful? Can it be inspiring? Can it be supportive? Can it be helpful? Can it be kind? Can it be loving? Can it be nourishing? Because face it, it's not like life's easy. I know my daughter always says, because, I am an optimistic person, and I tend to see the best in others. And I know that I raised my children that way, even if times were tough. And I've heard my daughter say, life is hard. And I get it. I do get it. And it is. But what if we could all ease that journey for one another in small ways, what may even seem like insignificant ways? And yet it's a positive impact. And again, you may never know it. It's not necessarily reciprocal. It's that every moment we're closer to death, and we all know that. And we never know when it will be our last day. And there won't be the opportunity for us to clean up something, or to say what there is to say, or to make sure that we're leaving people with what we want them left with. And so, what if we lived our life that way? I mean, I know we've heard the cliches or people saying, live like this is going to be your last day. But what if we did? What if we did live like every interaction we have with anyone is a way of depositing a little more of what we're committed to? It's a way of supporting, encouraging, spreading love and kindness. What if? What if we could do that? And I suggest we can. And that is an opportunity for us to expand our own capacity to let more love in and thus let more love out. So that's what I want us to take on this week. What I want us to work on is being present to the impact you have, recognizing that you matter, that you're important, and paying attention to what are you leaving others with each and every, all the time. What are people left with after interacting with you in some way? Okay? So let's take this on this week, and I'll be here next week. And I look forward to hearing from you. And you can always reach out in a comment or an email or a chat and let me know how it's going. I love hearing from you. Have a beautiful week. And I want you to know that you impact my life in a positive way. Thank you for being there.